Hello, my name is Glenn Chalokian, and I'm running for mayor for the city of Niagara Falls. If you want things to change, you have to make them change, and I'm the person that can help you get them done. During my campaign, I heard many people complaining about crime, roads, money problems, trees, sidewalks. With my 30 years of experience, I can fix these problems. Here's my plan: crime. If I'm lucky enough to be mayor, I will put 5 police officers back on the street right away. Some people say it can't be done, but I have checked, and this can be accomplished. We must address our city's finances. I'll put a qualified team together that will work on new development and new opportunities to generate new revenue to help fix our financial problems. Garbage fees, we don't need it. If they vote it in, I will work hard to get it out. Layoffs, that's not in my plan. Streets, sidewalks, trees. I'll take care of all this, beginning January 1st. If I'm lucky enough to receive your vote on November 5th. Remember, Chalokian is your only chance for change.
Paid for by Friends of Glenn Chalokian.
Hi, my name is Kenny Tompkins. I've been your city councilman for the last 4 years, and I've prided myself on community-based work ethic and working hard, rolling up my sleeves to work alongside the people. I am here to create a better, more transparent government and hold the government officials accountable for our actions. Got a problem or a question? Give me a call. I can be reached at 940-7092. My name is Kenny Tompkins, and that's what I do. I listen to the residents, and I try and solve the issues. Please, on November 5th, I humbly ask you to vote for me so that I continue to be the voice for the residents of the city of Niagara Falls.
Paid for by Friends of Kenny Tompkins. I like to call this the fun time of year. It's time for entertaining and to visit with friends and relatives and to pick out a special gift for a certain someone. You know what that makes it? It makes it the perfect time to visit Supermarket Liquors and Wines, Niagara's largest liquor store with all your favorites to choose from at Niagara Falls Boulevard and Military Roads. Now, if you want a preview, you can check them out online right now at supermarketliquor.com. They're open 7 days a week, late nights, Friday and Saturday till midnight, with plenty of free, brightly lit parking in front of the store. And there's always plenty of cashiers there to speed you on your way if you're in a hurry. But if you want to browse, it's Niagara's largest liquor store with great gift-giving ideas and selections, whether it's wine or liquors. You know, when you're as big as Supermarket Liquors and Wines, a great gift doesn't have to be expensive. And you can see what I mean when you check out their specially custom bottled tequila and bourbons, handpicked by owner Chris Castellani at Supermarket Liquors and Wines. Supermarket Liquors and Wines in the Mill Pine Plaza on Niagara Falls Boulevard, just moments from the Fashion Outlet Mall. Visit them soon or check them out right now at supermarketliquor.com.
The opinions expressed on NiagaraBroadcastNetwork.com are those of the host and the guest, not of management or the sponsors.
The Sal and Rose Show.
Well, I'll admit this is a spooky time of year, but not because it's Halloween, because it's election time.
Nice stuff.
Chalokian's back with us. Not spooky because of you, but this is a crazy time of year when
Absolutely.
you're hearing all kinds of stories and ideas. And I got to say, you are one of the few candidates who took advantage of coming on the show regularly. And you're presenting your platform. And I think that's very important because there's a lot of candidates that I have not heard a platform from.
I wanted to say thank you for letting me come on all these times. I appreciate it.
Well, you know, we made the invitation available to everybody. Some chose to come on, some didn't. Some didn't have the time, some couldn't. Incidentally, if you are a regular viewer of the show or even not, all the candidates that have appeared are on our YouTube page. And you go to YouTube, go to Niagara Broadcast Network, you'll see Glenn's 3 programs where he presented his plans. Bobby Rustino appeared when he first announced back before the primary. He hasn't been back since. We did have Seth on quite a few times in the beginning. Seth's name is still going to remain on the budget, on the ballot, not on the budget, because actually he's leaving. He's leaving City Hall
Saw that today.
soon. But there are, 4 candidates whose names are going to be up for possible election?
Yeah, 4. Yeah, they got a write-in kid now.
You got you,
Yep.
you got Bob Rustino, you got Elder, which Mr. Elder I haven't seen yet or heard.
I met him first time at the debate. He's a nice guy.
I hear he's a very nice guy. I see he's put an article in the paper and sent something out. He was another person who was invited. He said he would call me and come in, hasn't done that. And then he got Mr. Cosentino.
I just met him the other day, second time.
He is going to appear right after you, because he did request time to come on the show. He was here once. He is a write-in. I'm not sure how much that's gonna. Well, you'll find out if he's coming up next. We'll see what he has to say. Let's talk about you.
Okay.
You're
Winding down, Sal.
yeah, you're
Winding
coming toward
down.
the finish
Yeah,
line
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
And what do you hear? What do you see? What's your feeling?
I don't know. I feel good. I feel positive. I'm still walking door to door. I mean, we've been, at this since February, and I just see my momentum building. And the more people I'm reaching, I'm getting my message out of that I'm the only candidate that has a plan. I'm telling people what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. So I'm excited. I mean, I worked very hard. I did a campaign that was different this time than anybody ever done before. So I feel confident in what we did, and I'm hoping the voters like what I'm talking about and what I'm showing them, and I hope they go out and vote because I can't do it without the voters, Sal.
People are, during this election, they're saying that people are making a lot of promises and saying things. And one of the things you brought up, and I've heard this quite a few times, is that Glenn says he's going to attack the crime problem by putting police on the street immediately. He's going to use tourism funds.
Money. Yep.
And
absolutely.
people are saying he can't do that. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, Niagara Falls has a lot of experts in our town, but again, I'm not poking fun at anybody. I have a track record. I was a councilman, as a council chairman. I worked with other council members to put police downtown area with tourism funds, so it can be done. I mean, I worked with the past controllers, and like I said, I've been doing budgets for 30-something years, so I know how the system works. Again, I stress in my whole campaign, I'm the only guy that's qualified, the only candidate that's qualified that's running. I've been doing it for 30-something years. So when I tell you I'm going to put police on the street, absolutely. Do I want to stop at 5? No, I talked about going to Seneca Nation, going to the New York State
But
Parks.
you can get 5 right
Yeah,
away.
as soon as if I'm lucky enough to win in January, that's one of the first things I'm going to get through and get those officers on the street. So it's going to be soon. Hopefully it takes a couple of days, but it takes a little bit while, but we'll get them out there quick. That's something I want to do.
And this can be done.
Yeah, it can be done, absolutely.
Okay.
And again,
Well, here
hopefully the council's on board with me, and we can do a lot of more things together.
All right, another thing that I think needs to be clarified is they're saying, and you talked about doing trees and streets, and I guess that's the major problem with.
Yeah, you talk to people, yeah. Every
Okay,
day. Yep.
but the finances is the main problem. The finances is the main thing in this city.
Yeah.
And we have to do something about that, and you've talked about it a little bit, but I don't know if that's.
Well, here's the thing, Sal, it's unbelievable when we talk about finances, but it's a combination of everything. If I can save 40% on doing roads different, that's 40% that takes care of some of that finances in the budget. If I do in-house demolition, if I can have a 56% savings with money, that's how you plug the holes in the budget, by saving money, by not blowing money, by doing things differently. That's how we're going to fix the financial crisis and, develop a Niagara Falls, bring new revenue in here. So it's a combination of a lot of things. But people don't understand how it works. If I can save money, that's money that less the taxpayers have to pay. We don't need no garbage fees if I can fix the finances by doing things cheaper. We don't need to reassess. We don't need to raise taxes. By doing things different and cheaper, by savings, that means we fix the budget.
Okay,
so that's how you got to fix
all right,
it.
well, let's talk about those things a minute.
Okay.
We don't need a garbage fee. Well, it looks like my guess is the garbage fee is going to be voted in.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that. Can you reverse that if you get in?
Well, same thing. By putting some of my initiatives through and by doing things different, by showing the council a savings, I'm going to say, let's repeal that. And hopefully the council says, you know what? Hey, that Mayor Chalokian did it. I don't think any council members want to put extra fees on the people that live here or on the businesses. So again, like I tell people before, once it's all over, if I'm lucky enough to win, all the people that were against me too, that had different candidates, they're going to want to be on board. They're going to want to help because you know what? We all live here. Best city in the world, best people. We want to help the people. So hopefully they all want to get on board and let's do the right thing.
far as bringing in businesses and opportunities, and we've heard this for years.
Yeah, it's all about efforts. You saw my last video was about the lack of economic development, the lack of jobs. I showed you in the video Amherst, Cheektowaga.
But everybody's been saying the same thing, Glenn.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Sal, I'm gonna interrupt you. I was there, I seen their actions, what they've done, absolutely nothing. There's no effort involved, okay? You're gonna have a guy, if Chilokeen's lucky enough to win mayor, I'm gonna put effort in. I'm gonna have a team surrounding me that's qualified. They're gonna update me every week what's going on. And if it's not what I wanna hear, we're gonna have to do what we have to do to get them going. So we're gonna have qualified people. I'm a hands-on guy. We're gonna go out and market Niagara Falls. We don't want Amherst to get the jobs anymore. We don't want Yahoo to go to Lockport. We want it here at Niagara Falls. There's no reason why we don't try to get these things here. So that's how we're gonna bring it. A lot of effort, a lot of qualified people around me.
Well, what are they doing now, though? Aren't they
I
trying?
can't
You got you got people in there that are saying we're economic developers. Are they?
Well, you can have a title. I don't know what their effort is. I'm not gonna talk bad about what was there or what's there now. Going forward, I know what I'm gonna do. You look across the bridge. I'm gonna tell you, I got excited. Last Friday, I met the mayor of Canada, okay? Mr. Diadi, Jim, all right? We hit it off, same age as me.
It's a nice guy.
Yeah, top shelf. And you know what it is? He says it's not a competition with Niagara Falls and Niagara Falls, Ontario. When he says when you hear Niagara Falls, it's one Niagara Falls. You think tourists know if it's Canadian side or American side? He wants to do business with us. We want to work together. Like I said, we're both around 53 years old. We both had backgrounds in business, so I'm excited that I met him, and we're going to do a lot of things together to help both sides.
So, are we going to do a train? Now, but we're hearing we're going to have people coming across on the train, coming to Niagara Falls, going to Toronto. Is that possible? Did you talk about that?
Yeah, he talked about a couple of things about the train, but we were more talking about local stuff. Like there's people, developers that come there that can't do business in Canada. He's going to send them my way. And if we got some business or development that can't do something there, we're going to send them their way. We're going to work together in the first time probably in the history of Niagara Falls, not in a competition, but a joint effort to make Niagara Falls better. Because he said the same thing. If we're booming on this side, they're going to go back and forth. And I always said the same thing on that side. But they're staying on that side.
Well,
They're staying on that side.
unfortunately, people come here,
Yeah.
and they look over there and go, hey, what's all those lights? I want to go over there.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And, he gave me some good ideas. Like I said, we hit it off, and I'm excited. I'm glad I met the guy, and we got along real good, and hopefully I win. We're going to do a lot of good for Niagara Falls, America, too.
I like the idea. I mean, at least you're getting out there and you got some ideas and you got some plans. Economic development, bringing people into the city, that's the thing that kind of puzzles me. I mean, how about layoffs?
That's not in my picture. I mean, like, again, we don't have no service people left now. We don't have no workers left, so how can we lay off, okay? Same thing I tell people all through the campaign. Layoffs, raising taxes, new fees, that's the last thing I ever want to talk about. I think I'm creative enough. I think I have enough ideas to try to turn Niagara Falls around that we don't need no layoffs.
We're going in with a $12 million deficit. So January 1st, you're 12 million behind. Are you going to be able to make up 12 million?
Well, here's the thing. They're going to pass the budget however they pass it now, December 31st. So we'll see what they do. Again, I can't comment on what this administration and council is going to do on their last budget. Same thing, Sales. What we've been talking about all these years when I was here as a councilman too, we got to stop blowing money. We got to do things differently. We got to save money. And it's kind of a boring topic. I look at you and sometimes you give me that little look like it's kind of boring. It is.
Well, it's not that it's boring. It's just that.
But it's the same answer, Sal. Over and over.
Exactly.
I can tell you.
I've heard it before.
But you're hearing from a guy that's done it before. And again, people, like I tell people, if you look at my past track record of voting, I've always balanced the budgets. We always did what's best for the taxpayers of Niagara Falls. And every year it goes by, it gets worse and worse and worse. Like, I'll tell you the truth, I'm thinking, man, this is the worst it's ever going to be, and I'm a guy that's running for mayor, I got to be crazy. But I think I got strong shoulders to figure this out,
At least you're facing it, and you're
Yeah,
coming up
yeah.
with a plan. I mean, I've seen different ideas, but not really a plan, and you've come up with a plan. If you want to see Glenn's plan, again, go to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, Niagara Broadcast Network, Glenn 123.
Four plans.
4 plans now.
Yep.
Yeah, we
We're up
put
to
one
number
up
4.
the other day. It's up all on YouTube. 4 plans on how he plans to fix the city. Look at it. See what you think. See if he deserves your vote or not. When you're looking for a home appliance repairman, what do you look for? Well, in most cases, you look for someone who can do the job honestly and do it correctly the first time. Then you look for someone who's reasonable. Someone who's going to give you a fair price for the work he does. Well, I got one that's even better than that. He'll give you the best price you're going to ever hear. His name is Chris Moore, and his service call is $35. $35. Got a problem with the stove, refrigerator, freezer, washer, dryer? Hey, you name it. If it's a home appliance, Chris can fix it, and he does it for a $35 service call, plus the cost of the parts and installation. Now, I don't know of any other repairman who's had as much experience, over 30 years, as Chris Moore, who will come to your home for a $35 service call. You know, once you have Chris at your house, you're going to want him back again and again and again, and you're going to recommend him to all your friends and relatives. So you want to have that phone number handy. So what do? Well, let's update. Let's not put it on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere where it's going to get lost or fall off, dry up, and disappear. Put it in your cell phone where you know you can find it when you need it. Because you know someday you will need Chris Moore's number. It's 523-5911. Chris Moore's Appliance Repair. $35 service call plus the cost of the parts and installation. 523-5911. Put that in your cell phone right now. At the Wellness Park Pharmacy at 86th and Buffalo Avenue and the Community Medical Pharmacy on Michigan Avenue just off Main Street, you're not just another customer, and your needs are important. To them, you're a somebody.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
Now under new ownership, both pharmacies will see to it that you get the personal service that you deserve. Want to give them a try? Then call right now, 260-1918, and tell them you want to switch your prescriptions over to the Wellness Park Pharmacy or Community Pharmacy in Niagara Falls. They'll make all the phone calls to make it happen. And both pharmacies offer free home prescription delivery. And when you have them on the phone, be sure to ask about their wide selection of CBD products. Available in creams, oils, gummies, and much, much more. Get all the details today by calling 260-1918. The Wellness Park Pharmacy at 86th and Buffalo Avenue and the Community Medical Pharmacy on Michigan Avenue just off Main. Call 260-1918.
Where everybody knows your name. Everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came.
Go and see Bob over at Wellness Park. Good guy, and he's very knowledgeable on that CBD. We're talking with Glenn Chalokian. This is his final hurrah before the election. Possibly will be our new mayor next year. But I'm hearing some things that I got to. You know how I am.
Ask me the questions.
I got to ask.
Go ahead. You know I'm not shy.
I'm getting messages that somebody, I guess, of some paper, somebody printed something that said your campaign put Mr. Elder up to run to pull away votes from Mr. Rustino.
That's a good one. I guess getting nervous about Mr. Chalokian. Like I said, I just met Mr. Elders at debate we had. Like I said, nice gentleman. It's the first time I ever met him. I mean, if that's the best they can come up with. Say, like, if anybody knows me, there's never no tricks with me. I'm all about doing the right thing, and I don't need anybody else to run. I got a good base, almost 2,000 write-ins. I don't think I need anybody else to run for me. To try to take votes away again. It's funny. I mean, that's first I heard that, but that's funny.
Well, the funny thing is people pass along all kinds of things to me.
Yeah.
This candidate did this. This candidate said this. Somebody did, And I'm listening to all this stuff, and I'm going, I don't see this connection. Yeah. How about Mr. Cosentino? They also said Mr. Cosentino, who will be on next, as a matter of fact, got in the race as a write-in to pull votes away from either you or Mr. Rustino. No, they wouldn't be clear on it, but they said he's definitely a shill in there to grab votes from people.
I met Mr. Constantino twice. First time, I'll tell you the truth, was I was walking around the corner from my house, James Avenue. I didn't know he lived there. And knocked on the door. He answered. He just had a new little baby, so I was talking to him a little bit. And then I just met him on another night at a chili function or something. 2 times, don't know him. Nice young kid again. I don't know neither one of them, but nothing to do with it, Sal.
You kind of played the high part in this election so far. I mean, I guess you both have. I saw a little bit of a negative side in one of Rustino's ads, and I'm not sure. See, when you see stuff like that, I'm not sure if the candidates are up putting it up, like I just saw one and I showed you, it was against, the fellow who's running against Dennis Virtuoso,
No, Zajac.
Zajac, yeah, yeah. He's running against him, and there was a nasty card that came out talking about Zajac did this, Zajac did that. But I don't think, knowing Dennis, I don't think Dennis did that. Now, would campaigns do this without the candidate approving it or saying it's okay?
I can't talk about other people's campaigns. Everything I approve is me doing it. And my campaign is me, my son, and a couple other guys. But yeah, I don't know, you know.
I mean, in other words, the party wouldn't say, well, we're going to put this out and not tell Glenn or not let Glenn know, or.
I don't know. I mean, I just being in politics a long time. I know over the years stuff did get sent out. I remember, and you know, they said they had nothing to do with it with other candidates. So I don't know. You know, I mean, they could. I mean, if they got no name on it, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
So now you're going door to door, you're getting a lot of face to face with people. I know that's important. I know you've got thousands of views here and on Facebook and on your YouTube channel and your it was Facebook. What's your channel that you get most of? Facebook?
Yeah, it's Facebook, combination of Facebook, my website, and YouTube, and your shows. I mean, it's just we got them all linked, so it's a massive amount of people coming.
So if
with
somebody
social
wants to
media.
follow up on some of the stuff you've done or your videos or whatever, again, we've got it on YouTube on Niagara Broadcast
Yeah.
Network. But where do
Well,
they
a couple
look?
things. You just do Chalokian for Mayor on Facebook. Everything's on there. Or my website, your-next-mayor.com. That's my website, your-next-mayor.com. Or Facebook, or punch in Chalokian. You'll see the videos are all over the place now. I mean, they're getting hits, so they're moving up on the pages too. So, yeah, it's when I tell people, you know, even going door to door, it's very hard to explain a plan. I'm showing you a plan. So, like, if you like my stuff in the newspapers or me talking to you, please go look it up. The older people, they're on Facebook too. I can't believe it. I said a couple weeks ago, a lady said to me, my husband's on there, 78 years old, so that was kind of excited about that. But just look at the videos. I mean, they're awesome. I mean, my kid did a beautiful job putting them together. He did all the filming for me, and it's all factual, and it kind of gets you excited. Like, wow, you know, we can change Niagara Falls. I get excited when I watch them. You know what I mean?
Not that- They're very informative.
Yeah. Yep.
The people who are supporting you, are you getting a lot of corporate? Are you getting a lot of?
That's the thing that makes me feel I guess it makes my heart feel good. Like I hate if anybody knows me all my years of running, the thing I hate is fundraising, donations. I don't like it because, you know, all my supporters are regular working people, family people. And I'll tell you, they really stepped up for me this time. You know, I always had, I had 3 fundraisers, $50 a piece. You know, and I know that $50 is a lot of hard-earned money, and it's all regular people. And I feel so happy that friends and strangers send money, and every time I had a fundraiser, it was new faces. You know, it's just regular people. I don't have no big shots behind me. I never did. Guess they can't buy Mr. Chalokian, that's a good thing. But having the regular hardworking people in Niagara Falls, that tells me they believe in me to take out of their household to buy a ticket or make a donation, you know. So I'm very happy for them, and I want to thank them, everybody that donated money, time, and even just a couple texts, or I just had a Facebook message. It just makes you feel good when they believe in you, Sal. You know what I mean? So it was good.
It would probably feel better if they vote for you, too.
I hope you vote for me too, but absolutely,
No.
yeah.
The big corporations, though, don't you need them? I mean, they always say, supported by this unit, supported by that unit.
Yeah.
How are you standing with everybody?
Yeah, you know what I tell people, like the big corporations, all the head of the unions, they endorse the click guys. I got all the workers. I got the working guys. I'm 30-something years working for the city of Niagara Falls. Started out cleaning toilets at the wastewater treatment plant. Worked my way up. I'm in charge of buildings and grounds at the wastewater. Going on, I think, 32, 33 years. So the workers know everything about me. They know that I'm going to always work hard, what's best for our community. You know, going to church all these years and school events, always helping out. You know, we got a good reputation of always doing what's right, the Chalokian family. So again, it just means a lot. You know, if I have $2, I can make a dollar stretch. So again, look at my campaign of everything I've done to look at the money compared to the other candidates. I mean, I made it stretch, and that's how we got to do it in Niagara Falls, cheaper and better. I'll tell you, like, my campaign was definitely different. It's never been done that way, and it was on cheap money. So.
Yeah, you seem to be getting your name out there and your stories out there and your.
It's getting the message out, so that was the most important
And
thing.
you've worked your way up, you said, to.
Yeah,
So what is your actual, you don't work for the city now?
No, I work for the Niagara Falls Water Board. It was the city of Niagara Falls. They spun off to the Niagara Falls Water Board. I'm in charge of the buildings and grounds at wastewater treatment plant. My guys cut all the grasses and take care of the buildings and stuff, snow removal and stuff like that. And like I said, I've been there since 19 or 20 years old. So I kind of, people know that I relate to everybody else in this town. It's a hard working town, and it's hard to put food on the table and pay your bills. I understand what that everybody has to go through, because I go through it. I went through it my whole life, still go through it. I got 2 kids, wife, you know what I mean? Don't make big money. So, I don't have that silver spoon, never had that, don't think I'm better than anybody. I think we're all important in Niagara Falls, and I think we're here to help each other. So I can relate, and that's why I think people like what I'm about, because I'm just a regular person that knows that, we can't pay no more, or we need better services, or, the crime sucks, or it's scary out there. I'm just a regular person that me and my wife and kids have been in this community our whole life, and if we can help somebody, we help, you know what I mean?
When you went to the budget before, when you were on the council, you found stuff that you weeded out, but how does it, and at that time you had the council working with you, because you had some cohorts on the council that you guys worked together. This new council, or who we may be getting, is it gonna be difficult to get things done if you're the mayor?
I don't think so, Sal, because I think it was like after 2 years, I lost my 3rd vote. Sanford Jones lost his election, and when it comes down to tragedies and a lot of bad stuff in those budgets, I put a plan together that the rest of the council, Andy Tuma, Charles Walker, and even Kristen Grandetti voted with me. So at the end of the day, my experience with budgets, they got on board. Not on all of it, most of it, but we did what we had to do. So I think the council, everybody has their little niche. Everybody has a little bit of expertise on something. The budget is my thing. So I think this council, whoever's there, because you got new council members running too, I think they're gonna work with me, I hope,
I've heard a lot of names floating around. Have you had anybody approach you, or have you promised anybody a certain position?
No.
Or are you thinking about anybody for certain jobs if you become mayor?
No, my message from always, every time I ran, even from the beginning, I don't promise nobody nothing, please. And again, everybody put their resume in, put your application in, apply for any job you think you're qualified for. In the interview process, again, just knock me off the chair and show me that you're the guy or that girl that's qualified for the best for that job. I don't, right now you gotta win first. I know in my head what I want Niagara Falls to be, each department, who can fit my plan is the person that I want. My plan is very detailed. It has to be done right. So I want qualified people that have my same vision. So no, I haven't promised nobody nothing, and everybody knows that about me. I don't promise anything to anybody.
Well, Glenn, I thank you for the many appearances you made on this show, because you were one of the candidates that took advantage of our offer to come on and talk about your plan. And I think from the response I have, people like to see what you had to say and what you plan to do if you become mayor. And again, you could find all that by just going on our YouTube channel, look up Niagara Broadcast Network. Good luck to you.
I appreciate it. So let me thank you and Ro for letting me come on this many times and put my plan out there, because it did help. Because I'm looking at the numbers. People are watching your show and watching my plan, and without you, it would have been a little bit harder to get the word out. So I appreciate that for opening up to everybody.
Well, we did this for everybody.
Yep.
And some folks, like I say, took advantage of it, others didn't. I'm baffled, because I think if I was a candidate, I would do everything. I would put the ads in the paper. I would write the guest editorials. I would go on the radio shows, and I would go on the TV shows and of course, social media. That's what I think people get most of their
Yeah, it's a new
information
thing.
now.
I'm glad I did it this time.
But you got
Yeah.
a lot of people that are following you on those things, and we'll see how it works out. Best of luck, and you're welcome back
All right,
anytime.
thanks, Sal. I appreciate it. And everybody, just remember, vote Chalokian on November 5th if you want change. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Glenn Chalokian, ladies and gentlemen, running for mayor in the city of Niagara Falls. Well, we're going into part 2 of our program. This is a special edition. I'm giving the opportunity to the candidates who requested to be on a final shot to say why we should vote for them as mayor. And the last guy that came in here, and it was only a few days ago, was Ken Cosentino. And we talked to Ken and said, Ken, you're running for mayor. Why? He gave us some ideas. I'm just not too clear as to, with a limited amount of time you got into this race, what you're expecting to do, but this is your chance tonight to explain the whole thing to us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
As
Yeah.
we come down to the wire here.
Yeah, well, I work under pressure. That's that's the business that I work in. So I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at right now. But I think, Sal, that you to learn how to fix something, you got to take it apart, see how it works, and then put it back together. So I'm looking at the budget deficit. I'm looking at what created the budget deficit. And, it's not an accident. People spent money. People mismanaged the money. People diced or balanced our budget with casino money. And
Well, I think we know all those pitfalls.
yeah, we know some of them, but there's some things that people need to know. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Niagara Falls Public Library.
All right, let me just clarify, because we're recording this on Friday, and it will run through election.
Right, so Saturday, November 2nd.
Saturday you're talking about.
Yeah, Saturday, November 2nd, which is tomorrow. I will be putting on a public presentation at Niagara Falls Public Library at 2 p.m. up in the second floor auditorium. One thing that people need to know is that there is a fraudulent treaty, okay? It's called the Treaty of Niagara. There's 2 treaties. I'll get into the whole thing tomorrow, but the August 6th Treaty of Niagara is fraudulent. It was signed by hostages. The reason that this is important is because...
Wait. Hostages.
Hostages.
Hostages where?
The Seneca chiefs who signed the treaty were hostages. This is a fact. This is in Sir William Johnson's first-hand
And when did
historical notes.
this happen?
August 6th, 1764. Okay, now
1764, but you're bringing it up now in this election because why?
because this fraudulent treaty was used by a private entity who was influencing the Seneca Party from 1993 all the way to 2017. Okay? And what they did was they took New York State to court, to federal court, sued them for Grand Island.
I
It's a
remember
Grand
that.
Island land
Yeah, I
claim case.
remember that. And now, I forgot how that ended.
Well, what happened was in June of 2002, the case ended in favor of the state. In August of 2002, just 2 months later, the original gaming compact was signed. Now, Congressman John LaFalce at the time called them out, and he said that that Grand Island land claim case was used to get the exclusivity compact, okay? Now, that's why it's important, is because the deficit was caused, and we're looking at the compact, we're looking at the arbitration. So now, for the first time, we have that firsthand historical evidence to prove that it's a fraudulent treaty. That was major leverage that was used by this group of businessmen who also happen to own a monopoly down bordering the state park. They call themselves the 4379 Group. They used to be called the Buffalo 18. It includes Louis Simonelli, who was convicted in bid rigging.
But you said that John LaFalce brought this up.
He did, yeah. I got a quote from him. Yeah.
And so what happened? What they just say? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was reported on, and it just kind of went the wayside, as things do when you're dealing with billionaires and millionaires, and they were influencing the state at the time, so they were influencing both the Seneca Party and the state. That's what needs to be shown, and there's so much evidence. Okay, there's a mountain of evidence, and like I said, tomorrow at the public library on November 2nd, Saturday, November 2nd, I'm going to roll out all of this evidence. One thing, I spoke with Mike Hudson, the original founder of the Niagara Reporter,
Yeah.
right before he died. Mm-hmm. And I said, Mike, is this true that they used this fraudulent treaty to affect the Grand Island land claim case? And he was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. The Senecas won that case. They actually didn't lose. They won it because they got the gaming compact. So now that we have...
Well, you got me mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won it.
Well, they won it because they got what they were looking for.
They wanted Grand Island.
No, they actually didn't want Grand Island. They wanted casino, gaming, exclusivity. That's the whole point. You can't just get Grand Island. All the islands are a bundled package. Goat Island, Three Sisters, Cayuga Island, all the islands of the Niagara River are a bundled package. So if you win one, you win them all, which is why it's kind of weird that they just went after Grand Island. Like I said, John LaFalce called it right out. I'll be showing his quotes. He wrote an article to Art Voice. And
then if John LaFalce, because John was a champion of this area,
yeah.
And if he knew this
Mm-hmm.
and he had a problem with it,
Yeah.
John doesn't seem to me to be the guy to just drop it and go.
He tried. He wrote a letter to the Secretary of the Interior, and he got overturned. There's a letter between him and the Secretary of the Interior saying that basically, because of the loophole that they found in the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, that they're moving forward, and there's nothing they could do, the federal government, to stop this from happening because of the 1990 Seneca Settlement Act. There's a lot of information here. I understand.
You really got me mixed up.
No, I know. That's why you need to come to the presentation, so that I'll show you ABC, my main point is that in 2013 there was a schism between the group, the Monopoly 4379 group, and the Seneca Party. Okay, they're partners with the Seneca Party. That happened because Delaware North, which is a part of the 4379 group, and their partners with New York State, founded 3 racetrack casinos within the exclusivity zone. So that's the first time that the Senecas pulled the funding for the gaming. Okay, then when they came back to the table and they added the amendment to the compact, that amendment is what we're seeing today, that the arbitration and everything, that amendment it was caused by their schism with this group. So that same group influenced the Seneca Party to stop payments to the city. That same group influenced Governor Andrew Cuomo and inadvertently, or I guess directly, Mayor Deister to balance the budget with gaming money. It's not a conspiracy. It's all fact. I mean, there's been investigative journalists who have covered this.
So you mean they suggested to say, well, if you take the casino money, you could cover. What do you? Are you? I don't understand.
With the Seneca Party, you know, it's been blown wide open that they would buy their elections. So you know, that's right there, cut and dry. You know, you just take the money and you can do that. They could go door to door and give people money and vote them in. So they got their guys who were on the payroll. I mean, all the contracts are there, and it's all public knowledge. You know, I mean, you just need to look at the plethora of information that's there. Again, I'm going to discuss this in depth tomorrow with lots of evidence.
Saturday at the library.
Yeah, and
well, let me ask you. So now you're running for mayor.
Yeah.
So what do you expect to do with this information and your candidacy, and what is this?
Well, that's major leverage.
How does this help out Niagara Falls?
That's major leverage because the same group also manufactured the Buffalo Billion scandal, and then all that money, not all of it, but you know, hundreds of millions of dollars went down into the state park and the surrounding areas. It still is today. They have a monopoly down there. So the bid rigging and the embezzlement and all that has been going through the park and through the properties that border the park, and these guys have been getting tens of millions of dollars each. You know, and that's there's proof of that too, like with the NCCC Culinary Institute, the bid rigging there. In the Buffalo News, there was an article that was printed, written by Tom Prohaska in the Buffalo News, that he said that Governor Andrew Cuomo pressured our city council into selling the Hotel Niagara to Mark Hamister, who was part of the 4379 group. Pressured.
Mark Hamister did not buy the Hotel Niagara. Mark Hamister has the Hamister Hotel, doesn't he?
Well, they changed the name. It's the Hyatt, right? They call it the Hyatt.
But the Hotel Niagara is still standing in front of the circle where they have the big statue. That's the Hotel Niagara.
So if you're saying it's a different, are you saying it's a different property?
Well, it sounds to me like it is.
Nah, we have to look at the Buffalo News.
Hamister bought the hotel, or built the hotel, got the property from the city, right across.
Got the property from the city and built it on it. That's what I'm talking about. It was
That's
like
not the hotel-
$100,000.
That's not the Hotel Niagara.
Well, maybe I'm mistaken about the title of the property, but we, you know, again, we need to look at the Buffalo News article, because in the Buffalo News article, and you know, there's so much information that I sometimes I can't keep this stuff straight. That's why we need to look at the evidence. In that article, though, Tom Prohaska literally says that Governor Cuomo pressured our city council into selling that property, whether it was the Hotel Niagara or a parking lot or whatever it was.
It was a parking lot.
Okay, a parking lot to Mark Hamister. Now, is it legal for the governor to pressure our city council into selling a property to one of his friends?
Well, I don't know when you say pressure.
That's literally what he wrote. That's what Tom Prohaska wrote.
Well,
pressure.
I understand, but it's pressure. If he
It's
says,
intimidation. Pressure's intimidation. You can't lean on a city council to make a decision like that.
you want to go to the phones anyway, don't
We
you?
can go to the phone.
I don't know. We're at 333-3020. Ken Cosentino's with us. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Sal.
Yeah.
Is this a plot for an upcoming movie or something?
I don't know. Ask Ken. He's a movie producer. I don't know if it is.
You know, this is a very familiar voice. What's your name?
Don't worry about my name.
No, I worry about your name because you call into the show and you scream at people, and if you're going to do that, you might as well tell me your name. In fact, you should come tomorrow Saturday, November 2nd to my presentation and see what I have to say. Because you're no, listen to me. You're going to try and discredit what I have to say when this is the truth and there's evidence behind it. So no, it's not a plot. This is real life. People are suffering because of this, and you can make fun of it all you want, but I'm not going to stand for it anymore because people's lives. You might be sitting there as a fat cat eating well, but there are people who are starving because of this.
Let's talk about our budget, okay? And let's talk how you folks, I would say, they used our money to balance it, which they did. Well, your buddy, Mr. Kennedy, approved this stuff as a councilman, okay?
What did he approve? What did he approve? What are you talking about? Because I'm talking about $220 million in casino money that happened, that was spent prior to his appointment.
He's been on the council. He approves the spending.
He got on council 2018, so I'm talking pre-2018.
Did he approve the spending of 2018 to use the casino funds?
I'm talking about $220 million that was spent pre-2018. I don't think you're listening.
I'm listening, okay? Now, did he approve this money when he was on to use help balance?
Not the money I'm talking about. The article I'm talking... Listen to me for a second. The article I'm talking about with Tom Prohaska, that happened pre-2018. So he was not on the council, no, to answer your question.
When he was on the council, okay, I'm going to give you an example of something he approved. He approved the golf course deal, correct? Yes or no? All right?
I'd have to go back and look because I don't know. You won't even say your name, so I can't trust anything that you're saying to me.
He voted to privatize the golf course, okay? But yet, he okayed $250,000 of city money to use to help pay the expenses for them to run the golf course and privatize it. But there's enough blame to go around for our council and administration for the wasteful spending we've done. What you're dreaming up is beyond me.
I'm not dreaming up anything. These are facts. These are facts. You just have to look at the facts.
You must be setting up some kind of a plan for a movie. That's what I can figure.
I think you're the conspiracy theorist.
Oh yeah, a conspiracy. You know what? I'm the man behind it all that stole the money. Okay, excuse me in your movie too. You are on a pipe dream. If you get 100 votes, you'd be lucky if you get 50.
Yeah, that's great, sir. Listen, tomorrow I'm going to put on a full presentation. Why don't you come and say these things to my face, listen to what I have to say.
I wouldn't waste my time.
Exactly. You don't want to hear facts. You don't want to hear truth. And that's a big problem in Niagara Falls, that people would rather call up or get on their keyboard and just complain when there's people like myself who've been out here in the community for years fighting for change, okay? What have you done for the community? What have you done for the community?
The first time I've ever heard of you is when also you popped up as the campaign manager for Bill Kennedy.
That's the first time you heard me. There's a problem right there because I've been doing stuff for years. I've been active for years. You just don't know about it.
Take your little Neverland project. Go try to make a movie. All right, with the wine trail, or do something you want to go do.
That's so funny that you say that. So you're sourcing an article with rumors. So you're somebody that reads the Reporter and the Buffalo Chronicle, which are tabloids, and fake news.
But I read everything about every candidate there is. Okay, sure. It's called educating myself.
Oh, with facts or with rumors? Because you're spewing a whole bunch of rumors right now.
In 2 weeks, you come up with this notion that the Indians have been screwed over.
First of all, it's not 2 weeks. It's not 2 weeks. This is some people had a lifetime of research, like Paul Gramosiak, who was an expert.
When did you come out with your fairyland, your fairy tales you haven't come near?
2017. If you look at my website, I released these articles 2 years ago.
Thanks for your call. We only got about 10 more minutes left.
Okay, well,
anyway.
first of all, I don't need to address this guy because he's high or drunk or something. What I want to talk about right now, and people could come to my presentation tomorrow, Saturday, November 2nd, 2 p.m. at the Public Library and see what I have to say. What I want to talk about right now is today's Niagara Gazette, because somebody plagiarized my ideas in today's Niagara Gazette. Did you hear about that, Sal?
I did hear about it.
Okay, so what happened was there was an article in here, and it's an editorial that was written by John Spanbauer. It's called The Change That's Needed for the Falls, okay? And halfway through this article, it says Webster defines change as, and then it goes into 3 columns of ideas that I posted October 30th on my Facebook page publicly, okay? And the Gazette has come out publicly and said, no, this is exactly how this article was sent to us by John Spanbauer's email. Now, I don't believe at all that John Spanbauer plagiarized me, because he had no idea until this was published and he read it. He said, wait a minute, what happened? Okay? But somebody got into his email somehow and added my words and omitted his words and then sent it straight to the Gazette from
But
his email.
as a mistake.
No, not as, how do you mistakenly do that?
Well,
you go
no,
to my
but-
page and you
but-
copy and paste it and then throw it in his email?
No, but it says, and I didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, it says like Spanbauer's article says he could bring movies in and that. That's your thing. You're the producer.
But somebody
He
went to
doesn't-
my
He doesn't
page.
do movies.
Somebody went to my page and copied and pasted it and put it, embedded it.
Why? Why would they do something like that?
Man, you could have all kinds of crazy speculation about why they would do it, but it happened. The thing is, it happened. So tomorrow we can forget about it, or we could look at it and say, did Mr. Spanbauer send this to somebody in his campaign to be proofread?
What do you think happened?
That's what I think happened. I think that he probably sent it to.
To be
'cause he's got a
proofread,
campaign.
but not.
They changed
take the
it.
place-
Whoever he sent it
Well,
to.
It was a mistake.
No,
then,
it's not a
if it was that.
mistake. It's intentional. Somebody copied and pasted 3 columns of my ideas, and they worked it into this, so it's not like overlapping. They even put quotes around what I said, okay? They worked it into his editorial. Then they sent that to the Niagara Gazette, which it was published.
So Ken,
No, what I'm saying is that there's corruption and there's weird stuff going on.
well, they might be weird, but it sounds to me that it's weird that somebody would take
It is
your
weird.
idea to make movies and put it in their campaign.
The article is called "The
bec-
Change That's Needed for the Falls." Okay, and so it's possible that whoever that was thought these are good ideas. Let's throw them in there. But of course, they know that they would get caught, right? I mean, it's there. I'm not making this up, Sal. It's right there. The
All right,
Gazette
but-
came out today.
well, you got your thing at the library Saturday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
We're reminding people again. It's going to be tomorrow, but people will be watching this
Sure
after
thing, yep.
that. And we're coming right back. I want to know what you're going to do for us as mayor.
You got
Let's
it.
get real for a moment. When you're looking for a home appliance repairman, what do you look for? Well, in most cases, you look for someone who can do the job honestly and do it correctly the first time. Then you look for someone who's reasonable, someone who's going to give you a fair price for the work he does. Well, I got one that's even better than that. He'll give you the best price you're going to ever hear. His name is Chris Moore, and his service call is $35. Got a problem with the stove, refrigerator, freezer, washer, dryer? Hey, you name it. If it's a home appliance, Chris can fix it, and he does it for a $35 service call, plus the cost of the parts and installation. Now, I don't know of any other repairman who's had as much experience, over 30 years, as Chris Moore, who will come to your home for a $35 service call. You know, once you have Chris at your house, you're going to want him back again and again and again, and you're going to recommend him to all your friends and relatives. So you want to have that phone number handy. So what do? Well, let's update. Let's not put it on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere where it's going to get lost or fall off, dry up, and disappear. Put it in your cell phone where you know you can find it when you need it, because you know someday you will need Chris Moore's number. It's 523-5911. Chris Moore's Appliance Repair. $35 service call plus the cost of the parts and installation. 523-5911. Put that in your cell phone right now. I guess a passionate mayor is okay.
Oh, well, I'm not going to sit here and let some guy who's got nothing positive to add to our city, who's, throwing fire from the sidelines and just got insults and won't
Wellness
even
Park
listen
Farm.
to what I have to say. These are facts, okay? I'm going to lay them all out, and then they're going to be publicly available. And people have looked at them who are experts. I'm talking journalists. I'm talking law experts. They have looked at it, and they said, this is bulletproof. This is happening. Okay, like I said, John LaFalce came out and said it's happening. I know that man does not have the mental capacity to understand, and that's unfortunate for him. But there are people who want to know the truth and want the knowledge to liberate ourselves from. Look, we often say that don't bite the hand that feeds you. We need New York State, but the fact is that New York State needs Niagara Falls because billions of dollars have been funneled out of our resource, our natural resource. All you need to do is look across at Canada. Just look across at Canada, okay? The difference, why are they thriving? Because the money from the waterfall and the tourism and all of it goes back into their city. They don't have to deal with New York State. We compete with New York State, and they just take it all from us and give us pennies. That's a major issue.
I'm just curious. These people that you're dealing with, the state, the power authority, the people that people are saying we're hoping to get money, and for years they haven't really cared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because we had Deister for years. It was like, okay, that's what you're going to do? I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry to offend you.
We had about 12 minutes left.
Okay, well, let me throw one thing out there, right?
Yeah.
I read in the Gazette that Bob Ristino, mayoral candidate Bob Ristino, had 45 corporate contributions come through law firms, right? Now, if you need to conceal your biggest campaign contributions through law firms.
Wait, well, just explain that to me, because if it said corporate law firms, doesn't it say
It
like?
doesn't say corporate law firms. It says most of them came through law firms, but they were corporate contributions.
But can't you look up and see? I thought I did look up a list of all the different donors.
The whole
and
point of putting
I
them
thought
through
they
law
were
firms-
listed though.
The whole point of putting them through law firms is so that only the law firm is listed, okay? For example, I know that NFR is funding him. I know that because I was told that by Roger Trevino.
They're
of
not a
NFR.
law firm.
Right, but if people knew that NFR was part of his campaign, they might go, "Oh no," because they got a bad name, they got a bad reputation locally. So it just stands to reason that instead of NFR funding them, a law firm's funding them. That's what I'm saying. So if he's being dishonest about that, then you gotta look at follow the money trail.
Okay, I just, the part, you're saying if he's being dishonest, where is the implication that it's dishonest to say?
Well, okay, DiCienzo, right? The DiCienzo family. They
Right.
threw a fundraiser for him, and
Okay.
and I don't see that anywhere. Maybe you saw it. Did you see it when you were looking at DiCienzo's?
I believe I did see that there was money from the Genzos, yes.
Okay, so where's the big money coming from?
I don't know.
How do you remember how much money?
You know what? No, I can't. I
See,
think it was maybe a couple thousand, maybe. I don't know.
get it.
I don't know.
We need numbers in front of us, and we
Yeah.
need the source in front of us.
Yeah.
My point is that, and I understand what they're doing. Those developers for years have been left out of the deal, okay? Because DiCienzo wanted a bid on Wonderful.
Ones I saw, I think the big donations that I saw were listed. Whether it was a law firm, a business, whatever it
There's
was.
at least 45 law firms.
Okay, they were listed.
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't law firms. I mean,
Okay, but then
we have to throw
But
out.
then I saw a list of, I don't know if it was, and I don't know if it was Bobby's or somebody else was looking at it. I think it was smaller amounts, like $100 and $99.
Yeah, of
they
course.
didn't. They don't.
Those are
they
the
don't
easy
list.
ones to show. Yeah.
No, I think they didn't list them. I think they said like private. I don't recall.
And
but-
look, this whole thing's shady, okay? Somebody plagiarized me in the newspaper today from the Republican Party. Dude, that's sketchy, right? There's so much going on in the city of Niagara Falls. There's so much corruption. There's so many ties to this corruption. And so as mayor, one thing I would do is I would call a public press conference. I would invite all the major media sources, networks nationwide. And I would call for a federal investigation into all of this, into the Buffalo Billions, all of it. Okay?
I thought they did an investigation.
Yeah, they
into
caught
the
one guy, Simonelli, and he was already connected to organized crime, so it's easy to, he's the guy that gets thrown under the bus. But there were so many other people that were implicated but not caught. So that needs to be looked at. I mean, there's been so much corruption in the city of Niagara Falls over the years, and only the little guy gets arrested.
You're going into a write-in campaign for mayor. So why should I go and vote for you? What are you going to do? What are you going to do for the city? What are you going to do for my family? What are you going to do
Sure.
for?
So one
why
thing-
should I go and write your name in?
I've traced the cord back to the outlet, and I found, oh crap, the city was never plugged in to begin with. We need money from NIPA. We need money from the state park. Okay,
well,
we're
if you
not
can get
getting
it.
those profits. Nobody else is saying they're going to get that. We need free or reduced electricity because we're
We've been talking about
powering.
that for years. You
Yeah,
think-
nobody's done it because nobody's.
Can you get
willing-
it?
Absolutely, I could get it because we have the leverage now. If they could get exclusivity gaming, if the Seneca Nation could get the gaming with this leverage that I'm talking about, then we can use that leverage. It just needs to be made public. It was never made public. They talked about it. LaFalce called it out. It was never made public. Yes, I can get it. I'm not joking when I say that I'll close off roads to the state park. We'll see how fast they turn around on us. Deister threatened to close off roads to the casino. So as mayor, I would close off roads to Goat Island. I'll organize a massive protest of NIPA. There's ways, okay? We have to move into a defensive maneuver, and we have to fight back because we've been invaded for years, and that's why we're sick, and that's why we're dying. This is not a conspiracy theory. These are facts. Just go look out on the streets. Now, the other thing that I would do, I work in the film industry, and I do have friends in high places in the film industry. Everybody's talking about moving the film production into Niagara Falls, into Niagara County, and Buffalo sees tens of millions of dollars.
Who's
annually.
everybody?
Today, one of the county legislator candidates. I don't want to mistake one for another. It was one of the female candidates
Okay.
who run it, had made a public post saying, this is a great source of income. We need to build this up in Niagara County. Joe DePasquale, who's running for senator in Niagara County, he's a major player in Hollywood, and he's got a PhD and a real smart guy. But he's talking about it. He helped start the Buffalo Niagara Film Office. Even the film commissioner, Tim Clark, who's a personal friend of mine, is talking about moving more into the city of Niagara Falls. It's just that Deister was not the guy to do it. We need somebody who can accommodate.
They come and ask Deister, we want to put the film industry in here?
Yeah, of course, many times. I've been told this from the.
And what does he say?
Oh, yeah, it would be great, but he doesn't take the steps, and then all the movies that came here go to the state park. So my point is we could take a building that we're not doing anything with.
Yeah.
We could sell that building for a very low cost to somebody in Hollywood that owns a big movie studio. This way they have a home base, okay? Now, I have a friend who makes major films that, you go to the theater to see. If I give him that building and he's paying taxes on that building, he comes to Buffalo in the region 3 times a year. Well, let's give them a home base in Niagara Falls, because when films shoot here, even if they don't shoot the whole movie in Niagara Falls, give them the home base, lodging, the actors, the crew need to stay somewhere, not in the state or their partners' hotels. I'm talking about locally owned businesses. They need catering, transportation. There's unions. IATSE's a union. Electricians, carpenters, the whole 9 yards. So I built infrastructure that all we have to do is implement it, and it'll keep that money circulating locally. And I'm not talking about building something that doesn't exist.
How much money?
Buffalo sees tens of millions of dollars annually. So I think in 2013 they saw $22 million.
Ken, you got about 3 minutes.
Sure.
Why should we go and put you right in your name on election day?
This is the only way that we're going to fix this. If we look at the actual problem, if these guys get held accountable, if we start calling out this corruption, if we build the entertainment industry, which we need to build the entertainment industry here, we have one of the most aggressive tax incentives in the entire country. We share that with Buffalo. Guillermo del Toro, the famous director, Guillermo del Toro, was just in Buffalo. He's going to be shooting a movie in Buffalo. We need to bring that to Niagara Falls. This is money that we're not tapped into. So, that's just one major thing. I can work with the Seneca Nation. I know some of their government real well. I have a good working relationship with them. We need to become full partners with them. Through an alliance with them, yes, we could stand up against the state and we can get our fair share. We have to.
Okay, so you want people to go in and write in your name.
Yeah, write in my name.
It's
S.E. Kenneth Cosentino. Write my name on the ballot.
It has to be S.E.
That's my full legal name.
Is that what it has to be, or they'll throw it out?
That's what I'm told, yeah.
Okay, so where do people find more information before election time?
You can find me on Facebook, same name, S.E. Kenneth Cosentino. I have a website, theniagarian.com. And, the internet's a pretty easy place to find me. So everything's right there on Front Street.
Okay, well, you know what? I appreciate you coming back in. I mean, we're making the opportunity to those who asked. You asked twice, and we had you here. Glenn Chalokian asked many times. All the other candidates have also been here. Not all of them. A few of them have been here. Go to our Facebook. Go to Niagara Broadcast Network. All the shows, all the candidates that did appear are up there in all their comments. And so is Ken, his first appearance. And this one will be up there too. And best of luck to you. And maybe after election, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and worst comes to worst, and I don't win, but at least I'm raising awareness of some of these issues that people need to start talking about. So
Thank you.
That's a win.
Thank you, S.E. Ken Cosentino.
Thank you, Mr. Salpanessa.